Welcome back to Exactly What I'm Saying. In today's episode, I get to talk to a carpenter, small business owner, and musician. I'd like to introduce you all to my friend, Cadillac Young. Being here today.
Thank you for having me.
It seriously means so much, and I'm sure this won't be the last time that I thank you today. I did want to finish the story that we were talking about downstairs. So when we bought this house, I was actually working on the road at the time, and I was traveling. Elizabeth was with me. We were working with a realtor that she's known since like high school, like church days. So someone we trust. And there was like one point where we told him, we were like, okay, want to clarify exactly what we're looking for here. We don't want contractor gray, which is what I call a brand new renovation with all that gray vinyl, and I would never in a million years buy that house.
The paint color is called agreeable gray. Like that's the actual
agreeable, dude.
It's so unagreeable.
I hate it.
It's
like,
awful.
If anyone if I walk into someone's house and they have that, I'm gonna be like, oh, nice.
Well, I get it.
Beautiful home.
You know, if it's all they can afford and they just stepped in and, because painting's hard, but I'm with you. I'm also like, oof, no life in this.
Well, I guess for me, a lot of those houses were on a higher budget than this house.
Because I walk into this and I'm like, this is mansion grade shit. You know,
dude.
You've got arches. You've got like that fireplace is a shape I couldn't tell you what it is.
Dude,
it's conical.
The most unique fireplace I've ever seen in my life.
Your whole house. I mean, this place is amazing. This is what I want to turn my house back into.
Dude, you can do that.
I know. I'm doing it right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. My whole house is torn apart. So.
Sick. But so when we bought it, we kept missing out on opportunities that we did want because I was out of town. By the time I got back, sold. Sometimes by the time my realtor got an appointment for him to go look at it, sold.
What year would this have been?
This was built. January was 3 years.
Okay.
So
yeah, houses are just flying.
2022, we were looking.
Gotcha.
Kind of like things from COVID are slowing down.
For sure.
So he came to an open house and he FaceTimed me the entire time.
Hell yeah.
My parents also came to the open house.
Damn.
And like took pictures and like I talked to them after and like saw them. Like my dad was like, there's some cosmetic things, but overall it's got like amazing bones and it's like there's nothing that seems like it needs to be done. So I bought this house sight unseen. And we never actually stood inside of it until after we closed.
Holy
and then we got
shit.
handed the keys and then we drove to our new house that we had never seen. Dude, it is absolutely insane. But we only sacrificed two things. Okay. One is walkability to like cool restaurants and, bars.
Oh, yeah.
But just like social gathering places.
Right.
But I feel like by not being in a super walkable area for that kind of stuff, because the park is right there.
Oh, yeah. There's some great parks in this area.
No, taking Nami, which you'll meet her later. I wanted to let her calm down in the room before I like unleashed. The park is right there. And I want to chill in this house. I want to hang out in this house. We've created a cozy space.
It's very cozy.
And two, now I feel like I've gained access to the whole city. I haven't suffered the Louisville, oh, you're more than 12 minutes away. That's so far. Like anywhere, you know.
Totally.
20 minutes, nothing. That's so close.
It's so close. That's what I always try to tell people. I get that all the time, obviously. Like, oh, you're out on Dixie? Like, bro, get over yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
But so we sacrificed walkability to restaurants and stuff and a dishwasher. It didn't have a dishwasher. Ooh. I still want a dishwasher, but that will probably mean somewhat of a renovation in the kitchen, if not. And I'm not saying that to you because of who you are. I want you to know that this is just the truth.
They make countertop ones.
I have thought about getting one of those, but it's always been like, so actually I have one. Maybe I will get your help. The countertop ones, I just remembered, but I need a piece. Oh. Maybe you can drop some knowledge on me on sourcing the piece, because I'm struggling with that.
Certain I can.
Oh, dude. Thank goodness you're here.
Hell yeah.
No, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, I just had that like moment of like, did I hit record?
Oh.
Which it would have been okay at this point.
Right,
but yeah, so I wanted to first just again thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
And I wanted to start it off with the first question being are you Cadillac now? Is that your name? Is that?
It just depends on who somebody wants to. I really have no preference.
Okay.
You know, if you knew me in middle school, you're calling me Michael.
But if I was to meet you today,
so I never introduced myself as Cadillac. That feels cheesy. But oftentimes in like a setting where, you know, like when I'm with Shitfire on the road and we're all introducing, you know, people will be like, oh, what's up? I'm this. And I'll just be like, look at Hannah or something. I'm hoping Hannah's like, this is Caddy, because I don't want to say it. But yeah, I want it to be said, you know.
Yeah. No, I feel like in the music setting is the best part. It would be the least cheesy there.
For sure.
Personally.
I mean, I don't feel cheesy about the name. It's a great name. I feel cheesy that I like gave myself the nickname. I mean, I guess I kind of gave myself the nickname. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It started because I was using it as a music moniker.
Totally.
But then, you know, people just started calling me that, and I was like, well, all right.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's better than Michael. You know,
so. Sure.
And I like Michael. But,
yeah.
I mean, you know, Cadillac's way cooler. So.
I had to ask because, like, whenever I texted you after, like, who knows the last time that we had texted, but this was after we had talked on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm pretty sure, because it's your first and last name.
Well, so that's not my real last name either.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Stewart?
Oh, that is my real last name.
That is your real last name.
Not Young.
No. I knew Young wasn't your last name.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Michael Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah, I've known you by so many names in my life. You know,
it's fun to be mysterious.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, sick. I just wanted to make sure that
you call me whatever.
All right. Well, Cadillac it is, dude, because I think it's cool as shit.
Hell yeah.
Personally. Heck yeah. And so are you. So that's perfect.
Likewise again.
So I mean, man, you do so much. But I guess I wanted to start with like your music making origin story. Like, when did you start making music?
6th grade. I remember we're still close. My friend Dean, he said, I'm getting a guitar for my birthday. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I'll get an instrument so we can be in a band.
Sick.
You know, didn't even know what, I can't get drums. Those are big and expensive, you know. I guess the other thing you need is a bass. So whatever a bass is, I'll get it. You know, I literally didn't know. So yeah, I went to Willis Music at Jefferson Mall, J Mall.
Dude, I bought my first microphone there.
Really?
I did.
Hell yeah! I hear that place is closing down.
I think it's been closed.
Oh really?
I'm pretty sure the last time I went in there it was closed, but I could be wrong.
Well,
I could be wrong.
Willis is gone. I mean J Mall.
Oh, J Mall's yeah. No, Willis has been gone for a few years. Okay. Yeah. No, J Mall is gonna go away.
R.I.P.
I mean, look, I spent a lot of my high school years, a lot of time in my high school.
My second job was there.
It was also my second job.
Where'd you work?
I worked at Target, and then I worked at
okay.
Men's Warehouse.
Nice.
Men's Warehouse in the mall was my spot.
You had a fancy job. I mean, I did too. I worked at Things Remembered.
I have my fancy job that paid me $8 an hour.
Oh, bro, I was maybe $5.50. I mean, you know, I'm old, but
Sure.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 38, and I would have been 16 when I got that job. So
I'm 33.
Okay,
and I would have been 18. It was my second job.
Yeah.
And actually, it was my third job. Now that I'm like remembering now,
Gotcha.
I was like, what? Because I worked at UPS Logistics
As a child.
temp. I was actually like I was 17.
Okay.
It was a temp job. I thought I gave someone I applied to it. I put my social security number in, and then I saw it was like out of like North Carolina or something like that, and I was like, "Oh no!" I totally just gave away my identity and
Holy
everything
shit.
that they need to take it.
Yeah.
I got the job, and it
Hey.
kind of spoiled me because I made at the time really like
Oh yeah.
for where I was like,
Right,
at
$10
in
an
life.
hour or something. But it
I was
awesome.
I was making like I think it was like 9 or 10, but I worked like 60 hours a week. Like
Holy
it was a
shit.
summer job, and like I worked dude. I filled my gas tank up every time.
Oh.
I never put in just 20. I always filled it all the way up.
That you had a different experience than that. I was schlubbing it for sure when I was that age.
Well,
so.
whenever I went to like $20 or 20 hours a week at Target at $7 an hour, and I was like, "Oh, that's my paycheck."
Right.
Oh, I'm like putting 5 in.
Yeah,
you know? Like, but no, that's sick. R.I.P. J-Mal, and much love to Willis Music. If anybody out there associated, you know.
Oh yeah,
we miss you.
it was a good spot. So yeah, then got my bass. I don't think I got an amp immediately, but I got an amp pretty quickly because I learned like, damn, you can't fucking hear the bass, you know, without an amp.
Not if you're playing with another instrument.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
especially but still.
So yeah, you know, just learn not shitty songs, but like shittily easy, you know, Nirvana songs.
Smoke on the Water.
Never intentionally, but yeah, you know, I know how to play that one.
Sure.
I didn't grow up on classic rock, so like I didn't try to learn any of that.
Right.
But you know, I've been playing shows since 7th grade.
Is bass still your primary instrument?
No, I wish. I like it the most, but I mean, I never get asked to play bass in anything, and I feel like
because
when
you're
you're
so
writing,
good at it.
I don't think I'm a good guitar player. I appreciate whatever, if that's what you're getting ready to say. You know, if you look at what I do, I'm playing chords. I'm playing power chords. You know, I'm not doing anything of interest. If you look at all the lead guitar players in the bands I play with, you're like, oh, they're actually the interesting one. I mean, hey, I'm holding it down and I'm proud to do so. I'm just saying, like, you know, bass, I feel like I think that when I'm in a band and I play bass, people are like, you're doing cool bass stuff. I don't get off stage at a Shitfire show and people are like, bro, that power chord, that collection of power chords you did was so, you know, but like, they're like, oh, like, you made it sound full, you know, I mean, they don't say that, but that's, you know, when they're like, that was so good, I know they're like saying, hey, it looked like you had fun, you know? And the sound was good. But yeah, on bass, I feel like, you know, not that I'm even a technical bass player, I just think that I write cool and fun things on the bass guitar.
Man, so what even, I mean, I guess I know what bass sounds like, but your guitar is more melody, I'm guessing. Guitar is more melody and bass is more drumline. And that would be the kind of like how you would explain the difference of writing between guitar and bass?
Yeah, if you're a good bass player, you're locking in with the drummer.
Yes.
You know, you're a part of the rhythm section.
Yes.
Which is a real thing, so I don't know why I bunny-eared it. But I probably bunny-eared it because I would always, as the rhythm guitar player in bands, be like, I'm in the rhythm section, and people would be like, no, you're not. You're still just in the guitar section. You know?
That's
I was like,
hilarious.
no, like, I want to be in the rhythm section. But yeah, so, you know, the bass player, and I think a lot of times the bass player, you're writing you know, the under the root, the guitar player already probably laid down. You know, they
Yeah.
wrote whatever the initial riff is. So then the drummer's usually somewhat playing to you.
Yes.
Kick drum wise, at least. But you know, you lock in together. Maybe the drummer comes up with a cool thing, and then you're like, all right, I need to change my bass line.
Sure.
To match what you're doing. Which I'm not saying as a child I did any of that. I was playing real simple stuff with a pick.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I think with bass, you know, you can be a lot groovier. I think groove's really important. I'm not saying you can't be a groovy guitar player, but I'm not. I mean, I'm a groovy guitar player, you know, but I'm not like grooving. You know?
I think I'm smelling what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you mentioned that classic rock wasn't like a part of your. Like, what were your major inspirations, like, getting started?
Definitely just punk rock. Minor Threat.
Yeah.
Nirvana. I mean, when I was, like, really... I mean, so I still love, Alice in Chains, but, like...
Sure. But those were, like, what kind of got you into it.
Oh,
yeah.
Blink-182, you know...
Of course, yeah. Punk rock.
Oh, yeah. Punk rock all the way. I mean, grunge, I guess, too. You know, I never liked Pearl Jam. Like, to me... They sounded like classic rock.
I saw Full Zenith is coming back.
We are. For one show at least.
I'm super excited. When is it again?
Not this Saturday, but next.
I will be there.
March 14th. Awesome.
I will be there.
Spinelli's.
I knew it was at Spinelli's. I was thinking mid-March. My schedule just freed up in a major way. We don't want to focus on that.
All right.
But that is like a benefit to it is I'm actually free on the weekends now because as a bartender, that's just like goodbye social events on the weekend. Unless you don't want to make money.
Right.
How many instruments do you play?
Well, I would say 2.
Okay. But you can pick up and fiddle a little bit.
Yeah, I can make melodies on a piano, but I would never say I can play piano. I can physically play a piano, but, you know, like, if you gave me sheet music, I couldn't read it and couldn't probably coordinate both of these hands to do 2 separate things at a time.
Oh, dude. Your type of person has always, like, amazed me. Like, cannot read sheet music. For piano.
But can't play piano really either.
Okay.
Like, I can play a bass note and I can write a melody, but, like, that's... if you heard a real person, if you heard a real piano player and then you heard me, you'd be like, one of those can play piano and the other one can play a piano. You know?
I get that. Yeah. I bet it would still be impressive to me, though.
Fair enough.
But, maybe we'll have to break out a piano sometime. You once told me I'm always writing music.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It wasn't as big as I think you thought, but
people said some crazy things about things I've said in the past, and I'm always like, let's hear it. What did I say?
Any idea how many songs? Because you've made music. Like, I didn't know if there was like a file somewhere.
Sadly, there's not. I don't have a good collection of the things, you know. I mean, I don't know that I have the full Zenith tracks since we brought them up, like, somewhere on my computer. They're on streaming, you know, but I don't know that I, like, have them anywhere anymore.
Dude.
I couldn't begin to tell you.
One of the original questions, or it wasn't a question, but I'd already actually kind of knew the answer because I'd asked you, but the original Cadillac Young stuff, I'd asked if it was, like, up anywhere because I used to vibe out to that. Like, I loved the original Cadillac.
The 4-song one?
Yeah, the 4-song one.
I think that's on Bandcamp.
Is it?
I think so. I couldn't tell you where, but I feel like if you Google it...
I think that's what it was. I was, like, struggling to find it. But maybe I'll try again. But I know it was on... I had it downloaded because it was on Bandcamp. Free download. I had it downloaded because I had an iPod.
That's awesome.
And it was on that computer, and I was like, I might be able to recover those tracks. I've since, before we did the interview, after I made the questions list, I tried the computer, and it's fried.
Bummer.
I know, dude. I've not given up yet. There might be some tricks, but I need a tech guy for sure. Do you have a guess of how many songs you've written, like a percentage of how many of them have been recorded, to how many have been written in your life? If you had to just, it doesn't have to be super.
Let's do some math. Are you good at math?
I'm decent at math. I'll give it a shot.
All right, so let's see. I was 11 when I started playing guitar, let's say. I'm 38 now. How many years is that?
That's 27 years.
All right, what's 27 times... Let's do an average of 15.
15? Oh, gosh. Okay. 15.
I'm going to be so impressed because if it ain't a tape measure, I can't do math. So I'm going to be real impressed here.
15 times 2 is 30. Add a 0. That's 300.
Okay.
And then we got 15 times 7. So that'll be 70 plus 35. We're looking at 105. So 405 songs a year.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait. No.
That's over...
Okay.
Yeah.
So 405 songs.
That's if on average 15 to 20 a year.
Okay.
And then recorded less than half that, probably.
Less than half.
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, so there's also a lot of songs. The Foxery. We've got more than one record that we recorded and never put out. So it's like on my computer, but not anywhere else.
How come?
Just sometimes you write something and then like it sits for a while, and then by the time you're maybe ready to put something out, you're like, oh, I've got new things I want to write. So you just write something new and put that out, and then you're like, well, now that I've said that, the things I said before don't seem as important to who I am today. So maybe they'll just sit and never see the light of day. Maybe they'll see the light of day eventually. I mean, they won't, for bands like that, they won't really because they don't exist anymore. But yeah, Shitfire same way. I mean, we probably wrote 2 records that we've set on the back burner and moved on from. So
because you just aren't feeling it anymore, and wrote stuff, recorded stuff that you liked more. Yeah,
pretty much.
I get that.
Yeah,
I totally get that. It's kind of on pause right now because it's kind of a mess in my basement, and I really needed something that I could put small amounts of time into and would actually make a difference. But I've been working on like stained glass projects.
Oh shit.
I've been like tinkering around with like little art glass pieces.
Awesome.
It's super fun and I love it. But it's so meticulous, and like if I spend an hour in the studio, I've accomplished nothing.
I've gotta give it a lot more time than that.
I need a couple of hours to give to it to really.
I assume setup alone is probably a decent amount of time.
Yeah, because I try to reset everything, and then sometimes if I don't reset it, I'll come down and want to work on a different project, and ADD or undiagnosed ADHD or ADD in the studio.
Definitely.
But I'll start projects and then be like, I'll get halfway through it and be like, I don't think I like this anymore.
I get it.
I don't think I like this anymore. But then the ones that I finish, I'm like stoked about.
Yeah.
Is there? Okay. How many bands are you currently in?
Active that play out. We got Pleasures of the Flesh, which we haven't played recently, but we still get together every Sunday. Loam. I play drums for Loam.
You play drums for Loam?
Yeah.
And you told me to.
Well, again, if you listen to that,
I'm about to call you by full name, dude.
If you listen to that record, you'll be like, that's not a drummer, that's a guy playing drums.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'm not shitting on it. Like, I like it, but
But you can fill the space.
What?
You can just fill the space.
Yeah, I can make really cool things happen. And then if you were like, now play a regular song, I'd be like, I ain't got it.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so drums for Loam, guitar for and singing for Pleasures, which was the Foxery. We kind of just morphed into that.
Okay, I was wondering.
Guitar for Shitfire. Somebody's gonna be offended if I forget something. And then Cadillac Young. That might be it as far as active projects.
And then Full Zenith is kind of like a...
We Were Dead for Years.
Are they new songs or are they the old stuff?
Oh, it'll just be the old stuff.
Oh, sick.
I mean, I'd love to write new ones, but...
No, I'm hyped.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really high. I also loved Full Zenith.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Full Zenith was like, I would be jamming that regularly.
It's good shit.
In the car. And I mean, like you, Chesley, was it Cam?
Yep, Cam on drums.
Cam,
And then
Dustin is in it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, like literally some of the most like iconic and almost like under the radar influential musicians in the hardcore. Bro, I know, dude, hardcore punk, so many people that you just named have been in so many bands. Like bands that I've seen every single one of those people named. And I could name like shows that I've seen multiple times. I could easily name 5 bands for each person.
Yeah.
Easily.
Definitely.
And if I dig deep, I can definitely get more.
Definitely.
That, of course I love it. That's what I thought, dude. That's crazy. What a sick... Dude, I cannot wait for this show.
It's going to be good.
That is going to be really good. At Spinelli's, too. Do you have any idea how many bands you've been in over time? Now, I didn't know if it was like a count you kept in your head.
I
You're
don't.
like, oh,
I've been
sweetie,
asked
I'm
before.
at 52 now.
Probably less than 30, but more than 20.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
I can dig that. And like, yeah. No, I love that. That's a lot of bands, dude.
Yeah, well, you know, some never did much.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. You got the projects that you start. Maybe you played a
Yeah.
couple basement shows.
Right.
And then you're like, well, I finally got a job. Guess I can't make it to Tuesday practice anymore.
Right.
No, I get that. Is there, what, I mean, I don't know if you can even choose, but is there a project that you're working on now that you're most stoked about?
Well, Shitfire's working on a record.
Also, I don't want to interrupt,
Okay.
but Cadillac Young and the Shitfires.
The Shively Shitfires.
The Shively Shitfires. Yes, thank you. The Shively Shitfires. I was wondering, and then whenever I pulled up the album cover and saw everybody all countryed up, it warmed my heart so much.
It's Shitfire. We just shift around and they play as the backing band.
That's so cool.
It's awesome.
But yeah, so Shitfire's working on a new album.
We're working on a new record. We're probably somewhere between 3/4 and 2/3 of the way done. I'm not a math guy, so I don't know that fraction, but you know, we're 11/16 of the way done.
Maybe we'll have Hannah on and we'll get an update.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hannah's working on stuff right now, so is Cliff. They're kind of the last pieces of the puzzle.
Cool. That makes sense. Do vocals last?
For sure.
Yeah.
And then Cliff and Hannah work off of each other so frequently, you know, because Cliff's lead guitar. So,
yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have all the songs mapped out.
Yeah.
And then Hannah's got something for all of it, whether it's a melody or, you know, full blown. And then a lot of them are fully finished. We've been demoing, we've been pre-proing. So I don't know. We're getting there. I'm very excited for this. I think that as far as what other people are excited to get out of me, that's the thing that, you know, is, I mean, we're 3 years since our last release, I think. I mean, we've released some singles.
That's crazy. Okay, yeah. I was like, I thought, but it's crazy because if I had to guess, I would have said much less time.
Maybe it's 2 years. I really don't know. It feels like 3 years, but I mean, I think it was 2023. I don't know. You know, we play out obviously all the time, so it still feels like we're very relevant, you know, within the music community. But as far as like putting out something new, I mean, the other day we played a show where we only played new songs, really, and I saw people singing along, and that's when I was like, we gotta get this shit out. Like, people know.
People are learning the songs.
They're not even out. How do you know these words?
That's pretty wild. Yeah, you guys got. I will support you in that. You guys got to finish that album.
We're gonna. I mean, we're all very passionate about it. It's just, you know, I think that for some people, good art takes time. Well, probably good art always takes time. I'm more comfortable putting out what I think is mediocre art, just to get it out there, you know?
Sure.
So when I'm with, like, artists that I think are actually like, no, we're going to take this serious, like, it helps me, too, because otherwise I would have shit it out, like, 2 years ago, and it wouldn't be something that maybe is, you know, so revered, but, yeah, so.
Do you still have the recording studio at your crib?
That's a whole other conversation. So, the studio that you recorded in, and now what year did you record?
Man, it was like at least 13 years ago.
So did you record then? It was a small room.
It was
there
like
the
the
big
little
control room and the small room.
Yeah, and you had like bunk beds in the.
Yeah, so the bunk bed stage. So we in 2016 we expanded. We made the room bigger. You were in it before the room got expanded, I assume?
Yeah, it was a pretty small vocal room. Yeah. Black carpet.
Yeah. Okay, so in 2016, and the only reason I realized this is I had a memory on Facebook pop up, and it's like 10 years to what I'm getting ready to talk about. So we expanded in 2016, built it out, made a bigger live room, kept the same control room. And then last year I demoed that garage. It is gone.
Flattened.
Nothing but a parking pad.
Okay.
And I'm in the middle of building a 2,400 square foot metal building, and it's going to be half music studio, half wood shop.
2,400 square feet? That's pretty...
Yeah, so 1,200 square foot music studio, 1,200 square foot music shop. Or wood shop.
Wood shop. Dude. Oh, man.
So big I had to go before the city and, like, plead my case.
To get it, like, a permit and...
Yeah, to get the building permit, because it's bigger than my house.
So. That's why. And you live off Dixie.
Yeah, same house.
Same house.
Just, you know, where this was the old garage and the new one's next to it.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like a perfect segue for what point did the construction and carpentry enter the picture? Was it survival, opportunity, always part of the plan, or like hidden skills?
A little bit about
Take over, please.
You know, so I'm just going to touch on a few different things because I think for anyone young that's maybe listening, like I know what started for me was literally like I had a bookshelf. But it wasn't the size I wanted. And let's say I was 16. So I broke it apart, and then using, you know, a hammer and some shitty-ass finish nails, I just, like, built myself a smaller version out of, you know, it was already a perfectly usable bookshelf. I made it smaller, and that was the first one where I was like, damn, this is cool. You know?
Like, you popped the ends off, cut each
Did
shelf.
some cutting,
Okay.
And it was particle board. It was a shit ass bookshelf. It was not anything to be impressed with. But of course, I was impressed because I think what I did, if I remember correctly, I made it a DVD shelf, and I didn't have a big DVD collection. Maybe I had 20 DVDs, and I liked the idea of it like perfectly fitting the collection. So instead of having this big, you know, shelf where it was way too deep and everything, I made it like perfect for
it. I love that. I love that you were looking for that kind of detail.
For sure.
So, you know.
And so that we'll set that aside, but that's I think when I first went, oh, that's something I enjoy.
Cool.
So I've told the story before, but I'm gonna tell it every chance I get. Do you remember Rotten.com? Were you too young for that?
I think I do.
It's a fucked up website where like you get on as a child and you can watch like people be beheaded.
It was kind of like it was associated with like E-Bombs World.
Probably, but I think if I remember correctly, it was before.
It was before.
But it went on, you know, just other things got bigger and better.
I never really got into watching people get. I've never enjoyed those types of films.
I'm not gonna say I enjoy it, but when I was an 8th grader, I was
you
curious.
saw them, yeah, sure.
So it's less fucked up than that, but there was this little, you know, you just click on like links and then there'd be whatever random shit. So there was this guy that built a rocket in the back of his truck, or in his back of his car, trunk of his car, and he filled it with meth.
Oh God!
And he would go and he would sell meth across state lines. And the idea was, is if he got pulled over, there was a button in the glove compartment. He could press that button. It would pop the trunk. It would shoot the rocket. Can't prove nothing, you know?
That's hilarious.
It is. So I started UPS at 18, as any Louisvillian does.
Sure.
And I meet this guy, Dave, who is, to this day, one of my best friends.
Bogger?
No.
Okay.
No.
Move on. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe edit that out. I don't know if he wants his business.
I'll
Just bleep
beep.
out the last
name. Yeah.
So we get to talking, and somehow it lets me know, oh yeah, my dad's in prison. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. What for? Oh, he built a meth rocket that was supposed to go off like in a trunk, and I'm like, wheels are turning. I'm like, bro, your dad's meth rocket guy from Rotten.com. He was like, yeah, that's my dad.
No.
So what had happened is they get pulled over. He's driving. He's got a passenger. They're trafficking meth, and he's like, reach in the glove compartment and press the button, and so the cops surround the car and guns pointed, like, get the fuck down, whatever shitty fucking pigs do, and he's like, just reach in the glove compartment and press the button, and the guy got scared and didn't want to do it because he didn't want to get his head blown off.
Sure.
So they didn't. Cops find the meth rocket. It gets on Rotten.com. Years later, Dave and I meet each other, and so all that to say is when we first moved into House of Wax.
Yes.
And I'd moved in. I had 4 other people, but we had 3 rooms. And I'm just like, yeah, I need like rooms in my basement. And he's like, well, my dad's in prison. He was a carpenter. Like, I'll just bring his tools over and we'll figure it out.
Sick.
I'm like, all right, that's cool. So he brings a truckload of tools over, and we.
Was he in prison for the for the meth
Yeah.
rocket?
He's out now, and he's a great dude.
I bet.
Love him. He's a genius. Literally
engineer, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so he brought over all his dad's tools, and we built walls in the basement very poorly. They've since been removed, but like I found notes we'd written ourselves, from 20 years ago. So that happened. And then, a couple months later, I'm like, man, like I really want to start recording my own music. And he's like, we can build you a studio. And I'm just like, damn, Dave, like you can do anything. So Dave knew how to do all this shit already, from his dad. So he helped me build the first studio.
No way.
Yeah. And so he brought over tools again. We built the studio, and then that's the studio you recorded in.
Yeah.
And then we, went our separate ways. Not like, I started days at UPS 5 years later. What really happened, it's kind of funny. Somehow on the old iPhone, you could block someone easier than I realized, and I accidentally blocked him. So one day, him and his, at the time, girlfriend roll up on a motorcycle. They get out. He knocks on my door, and I'm like, Dave, what the fuck's up, bro? And he's like, hey, like, we're getting married. We want you to do it. And I'm like, hell yeah. Bro, why haven't you answered any of my texts? And he's like, bro, why haven't you answered any of my texts? And I'm like, motherfucker, like, I've been texting you.
Look.
So I pull out my phone and I show him where I've been texting him. And then he pulls out my phone and he shows where he's been responding. And then I pull out my phone, or I've already got it pulled out, and I, like, go to show him, like, no, and I'd press the block button. And
that is so funny, dude.
So, all that to say, we reacquaint, we're talking more, we're hanging out more. And he started, while working at UPS, working a carpentry job.
I love that he just, first off, I have to just say, I love that he just showed up to your house on a motorcycle.
He couldn't get a hold of me
after
otherwise.
not talking for a bit. Yeah, it was just like, what up? Come do my wedding.
Absolutely. And I did. We went down to Florida. It was awesome. Took a bunch of friends with us. But yeah, so he started a carpentry job, and I quit UPS so I could tour. So I started roofing with another friend's dad. And so then on rainy days, roofer holidays as we call them, I would go and I would work with Dave, and we'd be like, man, this is dope. Like building shit together, just like old times. And eventually he was like, what if you just didn't roof anymore and you just came and you did, carpentry work? And I was like, roofers are badasses, carpenters are like weak, which is not how I really feel, but I love. Yeah, I was like, I'm hauling shingles up, this ladder, like you're in here.
Exposed to the sun and the heights.
Yeah, I mean, roofing is an awesome job. Most people hate it, but if you're the type of person that can dig it, it's a great job. But best decision I ever made. I quit roofing. I went and I started working with him full time. We worked for this terrible dude.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Like,
we don't have to...
Just, well, we flipped a bunch of houses in Portland, like, just a terrible fucking, and I mean...
Guy with money who needed people to actually do the work.
Oh, yeah, we were exploited, but at the same time, I learned a lot that I wouldn't have
Yeah.
learned in any other scenario, because he would say, you need to retile that tub, but I'll see you in 8 hours. And then I'm on YouTube, how to fucking tile a tub, you know?
Sure.
And then I learned it, and now it's a skill I still have. So,
Sick.
yeah, and I'm not saying I'm like a tiler. It's like with drums or anything else. Like, I can tile. I'm not a tiler. Mad respect to the tile trade. It's a great one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, then Dave and I kept, we worked that job, then we got our next carpenter job together, and finally I was like, what if we didn't work for other people and we just fucking did it for ourselves? And
Yeah.
it took a couple years to convince him, but we finally branched off and started Hammerhead.
So it's just you and Hammerhead. It's just you and Dave.
Me, Dave, and then, so this band on my shirt is a Trophic, and the drummer for a Trophic is the third partner.
Sick.
He started working for us. That's a cool story. I don't know how much, the world cares.
I mean, my next question was Hammerhead Remodeling. How did that get started? That's what I want to know, dude. I was like letting you cook. Yeah.
So Tyler, I saw him post on Facebook one time, and he was like, it's gonna sound more dramatic than it is, because sometimes you say things hyperbolically or whatever. But he was like, I hate my job, I want to kill myself, And I messaged him, and I was like, start swinging a hammer, bro. You won't feel that way anymore. And so, it doesn't go anywhere. And then a few months later, he messaged me, and he was like, no, for real. Like, he was like wearing khaki pants and doing something on a computer. HR. I don't fucking know. I don't keep up with that world.
Sure.
But, which HR is important. But it's not a world I know anything about.
Sure, exactly. Yeah,
Khaki
exactly.
pants,
Yeah.
Clean shirts.
Is he making sure that you and Dave don't like touch each other's butts?
Oh no. My partner, I still say my fiance now.
Yes.
She's always like, how the fuck how do you get away with the shit you get away with at work? And I'm like, well, he's got to put up with me. Like, we're third partners, But yeah, so he messaged me and said, no, for real, I hate my job. Like, what's the logistics of, me coming to work for you? And I was like, show up. You ain't got to know how to do shit, as long as you can have a good attitude and carry heavy shit.
And learn.
And learn. And so he showed up, and he was working with us, and, he liked it enough. And so even though he didn't really know anything about the business, when we were like, I think it's time we do it, we were like, well, you want to come too, like, you hate your job. We're not going to just leave you. And, philosophically, I believe that everyone should be on the same level, so we were like, fuck it, you're just a third partner. Like,
we're starting this, and we're all homies, and you're coming with us. We're not going to be like, you're our employee.
Right. And he brings, now obviously he knows a lot, but like, even then he brought lots of value, just like being, to be honest, having someone on a job site who's just willing to like bring you a hammer is so valuable. When I'm on a ladder or on a roof, and I'm like, can you just like throw me a thing, like,
dude, it really is.
It's very valuable.
You said he's in Otrophic?
Yeah.
Shout out Otrophic.
They're heavy. They're not heavy metal. They are heavy, and they're metal. They're death metal. Those metal guys, they really care about.
Sure.
They will split those hairs.
The categories are important.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
Yeah.
How long has Hammerhead been a thing?
I think we are going in, it's February, or it's March now, shit. So this is our 6th year.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's been awesome. And, your cousin's been one of our best customers, so.
Dude, he told me the other day, and I hope it isn't weird to say, but I can cut it out if it is. But he told me the other day that, like, he always gasses you up. And I've always found it giddy that you two have crossed paths.
Absolutely.
Like, it makes me so happy. And then the fact that he is such a regular of yours. But he had mentioned how, like, you will come and, like, do warranty work, for lack of better terms, for him. And like, you don't ever charge him for the warranty work. But he was like, some of it's been like a while later. And I was like, I could be wrong. But like, one, Mike is just a good dude. And I would,
I stand by my work.
He stands by his work. But two, let's just say it had crossed a point of like warranty. I feel like you guys have been a pretty consistent and big customer for him. Like, I feel like he would maybe come and do warranty work for you that he'd be less willing for somebody else. Not that you would be less willing for someone else, but like, I would think that there's a little bit more motivation.
If he hit me up and said, "Hey, I need help with this thing and I can't pay you," I'd be like, "All right, bro." You know,
like at this point, I feel like we can figure it out. You know? Yeah.
But yeah, so don't tell him. You can leave this in. I'm just
yeah. No, I totally will. Oh, he also mentioned that he really wants you to come and gravel his parking lot.
That's the next. I've got it on the list.
He was like, "Hey, maybe slide that in."
And it is a parking lot too. Bro's got so many kids. They each have their own vehicles,
and they're about to be getting more. Like,
yeah.
So another one just got a permit.
They're stronger than I am.
Shoot.
That's a wild world.
They're pretty cool kids, but I couldn't imagine being responsible for like feeding them and telling them when they did something wrong.
But they crush it. They
do.
Crush it.
They do.
While also holding down a business. I mean,
he was my first episode.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's not aired yet, but
awesome.
He was my first episode. I had to bring in the cousin.
Yeah.
We already had like that chemistry.
For sure.
Help me work out some anxieties and stuff. But so Hammerhead, it's the three partners.
Yep.
Otherwise, do you all have like another team? Do you work with subcontract? Like, how many people when you're on site do you work with regularly?
So year one, all I knew was when I'd worked for other people, and I was essentially the general contractor site manager, and so all I knew was like running way too much shit at once. I had a real I'd never been taught like just the beauty of carpentry not intertwined to like capitalism. So when we first started year one, we were trying to run multiple jobs at a time and subbing out all this work, and we had two guys that just did tile for us, and I'd keep them busy, and I ended up writing more checks and fucking driving around looking at shit than I did just like swinging a hammer. And I hated it. I was like, this is not what I signed up for. This is like too.
I'm too office guy.
Yeah. I am meant to be the level
boots
above
on the
grunt,
ground.
And I'll run it out if that's what I need to do.
But I'm the grunt that gets to tell you what to do.
Right.
If I have to. Yeah.
So we scaled way back year two. We just took jobs we wanted to take. I mean, not that we took anything we didn't want to take before, but we were just really like going way too hard.
Yeah.
We told the tile guys we weren't really interested in always keeping them in work. Like, they could have got work on their own. We had so much because of our connections and stuff. So we kind of were like, hey, like, obviously you'll be fine without us, but I don't want to be chasing y'all around and writing checks and all that stuff.
We do it so much I can just learn how to tile. Was that kind of
no? Okay, so still, if we needed tile, I'll hit them up. It's just like I was going and looking at just tile jobs.
I see. Where
you're
you're the head contractor and you're just subbing out all your work.
But
the GC.
Yeah, but that's also just a middleman,
Totally. It's not boots on the ground. It's not swinging a hammer.
Right, and I'm just morally against middle people. I'm not. There are certain people that are like, I don't want to have to deal with any of this, when Kyle, when we did Kyle and Amanda's garage, there was 50 different types of jobs that needed to get done. Obviously, I know the roofer. I know, the drywaller. I know, this guy and that guy or whatever. So it's easy for me in that setting to be like, okay, I can run this. But I'm not also just, when someone says, oh, I have a plumbing issue, like, I have a plumber and I'll send it to him, but I don't need to go and look at it and, all right, well, you're going to pay me $50 just for knowing the guy.
So you recommend subcontractors, you don't actually hire them?
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes we do. If someone's more comfortable being hands off, like, I am happy to do it. Obviously, I'm gonna get paid to do it, you know.
You
But,
do charge the 50 then.
yeah.
But you're not nickel and dominant like
Right.
it all has to go through me.
No, I
think
would
that's
prefer
great.
not, you know.
And if you do, I think you deserve the 50 or
Right.
whatever it is. Like genuinely.
that's definitely how I feel.
But I respect your approach to it. Like
Yeah.
I would rather not. I'll do it if that's
Right.
helpful because I want to be helpful.
Yeah, and I know there are people that are like, I get anxiety or I'm not comfortable reaching out and talking to all these people. So I'm like, well, I am, and I know them, you know. But
Yeah.
I think back in the day, it was just like there was this barrier to being able to find your own tile people. You know, you had to go through a general contractor. That doesn't really exist anymore, so I don't need to try to maintain that barrier.
And you can recommend ones that you trust.
Absolutely. Non-MAGA, that's a big thing. People come to us because they're like, oh, you're like a leftist carpenter? That's cool. You know?
That is really cool,
Yeah,
actually. Like, you know, like, I
There's not
mean,
enough of it in the business. So.
it's crazy. Because I mentioned I worked in wind turbines, and for some reason in my head, I had pictured all of these like people who valued renewable clean energy and all this stuff. And bro, there are Instagrams that I only still follow purely just so that I can realize that there are real people out in the world that believe the bullshit that they say. Like,
Definitely.
and like, it literally blows my mind. It literally blows my mind. And I worked great with this person.
Oh, for sure.
Like, he was a cool guy. He was pretty quiet. So, like, he didn't really say much that I was like, look,
Right,
look,
right.
Guy, you can tone it down. We can leave that stuff out of work, okay? But, dude, I took a stance on sites a couple times.
Hell yeah.
And it was really cool because I actually worked for a company. It was Canadian based, which I think was a huge inspiration.
Yeah.
But like, I stood up on some like, you know, using slurs and stuff like that on sites. I always handled it down tower. I would take it up to, like, I would just listen to it and keep my mouth shut when you're 350 feet in the air.
Absolutely.
Look, you never know. I wanted everybody to be safe.
Yeah.
But I would address it down tower, and you know, like, I don't like that stuff. So it'd be hard, especially now that you are running your own thing. You can tell off that other contractor at the site.
I mean, I'll just never hire you again. You know, like, it's
especially if you hire them. I guess if the owner hires them, but if they found you because they like your stance.
Yeah, usually we don't. The jobs we take on, we're doing the whole project, or we're connected to the whole project. You know, it's more so like when we do a bathroom, I bring in the plumber, you know, I'll bring in the tiler. It's more so like when someone hits me up and they're like, all I need is a tile job, then I'm like, cool, here's your tilers, you know, like.
Oh, you just pass on the job. Yeah. I think that's so honorable, and like, I don't know. I think it's so many people are trying to make an extra buck off of every single person when they can, instead of realizing that, like, if we all stopped doing that, maybe none of us would need to work as hard.
Oh yeah.
In a way, I don't know.
So good, and I don't have a problem with this person. I'm not even going to name them because I don't think that what they did is socially unacceptable. But this goes with what we're talking about. When I put out the Cadillac Young EP, I reached out to somebody who had reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'd like to put your CDs, or I could like help you put your CDs out or whatever." You know, not like a label, just like I can do the printing.
Oh, cool.
And they're local. They're regionally local. And I was like, man, I want to keep everything regionals. That's awesome. So I reached out to them. I sent them, you know, the art. Like, I sent them everything. And then there was a mix-up in shipping. And it was only because of this mix-up that I discovered this. But essentially, they just went through Fiverr and had somebody in New Jersey print them and then mail them.
Oh, my God. And they charged you the upcharge.
Right. And then I was like, man, I literally, you middle personed me, and just, I had to pay more because of that. You know, like, you could have just been like, hey.
Have you heard of Fiverr?
Right. Go to Fiverr. And, you know, I was like, of course I know Fiverr. I could have gone to Fiverr. I went because I thought you, and I told this person, I said, I'm really disappointed that I thought I was like working through a regional company that I could support local.
That is disappointing.
And you know, they were like, I get it. I've been going through some shit, so I outsourced this. And I do believe them.
Sure.
But also I'm like,
transparency.
That's how we got to where we're at, where everything's fucking outsourced and all of our parents lost good jobs, you know, like, and I'm not against people in other countries having good jobs. It's just like, come on, like, do we really need someone from New Jersey printing my shit and then mailing it when like we could have someone here who has it? And I have found some companies locally now, you know, now I've figured it out. But before I was like, oh, this person, I thought they were a printing place, you know.
I might actually get your opinion. I have to pee.
Okay.
And then whenever I get back, I want your recommendation if you have someone you'd like to shout out, because I need a logo person.
Okay.
But I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'm going to leave it rolling.
I'll just hold it down.
It makes editing so much easier.
Oh, for sure. Now that I have you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to look at my phone. For sure.
Type 1 diabetic.
Oh, I don't think I remember that.
Yeah, and I've just been drinking water and finishing up this cold brew all day. So,
Type 1, that's the kind where you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, dude, I was 12 years old and it just kind of happened.
Shit.
I had months of feeling absolutely terrible. And then I had mentioned to my grandma that I was 12 years old, like I said, and I told her, I was like, Grandma, like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I'm thirsty even when I'm chugging water. Like, it's not quenching it at all. Like, I could just... And she kind of knew the symptoms. My grandpa was type 2.
Okay.
But I tested my blood sugar. She was like very cool, calm, and collected about it too, which I appreciate now as an adult.
Oh, yeah.
It kept me from like freaking out.
Definitely.
My blood sugar was like 574.
Oh my gosh.
Which I've heard other people's on their like their first testing of the blood sugar after, you know, beginning of diagnosis. And I've heard much higher numbers.
Okay.
But I now having an A1C that's 6, which is really good. That's like your average blood glucose percentage.
Yeah.
There are people that are pre-diabetic with high. There are people who aren't diabetic with higher A1Cs.
For sure. I'm sure mine is.
Oh, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I can't speak on that.
I went to the doctor once and had some blood tests ran. It was for something else. And, you know, you just get back, like, all your results that they tested. And, yeah, mine was fucking through the roof.
Really?
But I had... So there was, like, a period of a couple weeks because of the reason I went to the doctor where I hadn't been to the gym. And right before there, I'd, like, gone ham on some candy.
Yeah.
I think that I don't really know, like, scientifically that might not, but in my head that's probably what did it. Like, that was unusual, you know, that wasn't like an average number for me.
Yes.
Since then I'm way back into the gym. I mean, I have no, like, other than being a large person, I have no symptoms or anything.
Good.
You know,
no, that's great.
Yeah. And when it happens, I'll deal with it. But
sure. And I mean, if you're on it now, then in theory, like if it happens, it should be in theory like a thing that you can make minor
for sure
adjustment, as long as you don't like, you know, let yourself go, I guess. But
I'm gone, baby.
I got an insulin pump, and that's what helped me really get it. I'll show you if you want. It's
oh shit,
attached to my back there, and then little risque. So I've got a combo here. I just switched it today actually to this arm. Can you see that thing?
Oh yeah, okay.
So that reads my blood sugar.
Okay, yeah, I know someone else that has that.
Yeah, it updates every 5 minutes.
Your phone?
It does. Yeah, over there. But
very
yes,
cool.
It updates on my phone every 5 minutes, and then it communicates with the insulin pump.
Wow.
And it has its threshold, but it also builds like an algorithm over time that like is more particular to you.
That's cool.
And I could make adjustments that I don't, because they always advertise it of like you can have it more like back of brain instead of front of brain now. And I do have it more back of brain, but I want it more mid brain.
Yeah.
Like there's a part of me, I feel like whenever I rely on the technology too much, that's whenever I get a bunch of lows.
Oh yeah,
You know, and I want that choice to be like, all right, I'm at 200, but I'm like walking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just ate, and like I'm just gonna wait it out and see where it goes.
For sure.
You know, I can always take insulin later.
Definitely.
But you know, yeah, 6 A1C. I was very proud of that. But yeah, so I remembered that I had recently talked to a buddy and who might be making me a logo, but I still want to hear your logo shout out. If
So,
you know,
are you
support
talking,
local.
You need an artist, or you need someone that'll print it on stuff?
Oh, I need an artist to design the logo. You're talking printer.
Yeah. So I already had everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. Yeah.
To put it all together.
To print it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm all for DIY. I was just like, I don't know anything about CDs. You know,
sure.
Like, I'm so far out of that game, and since then, because of that experience, I have bought a CD burner. Like, I'm back in the game. You know, honestly, probably before next year, I'll be offering to put people's CDs out. Because,
oh, cool.
You know, I had to do it for myself, so now I'll do it for other folks if they want it.
And you're gonna have, hopefully by then, I don't know your time. Yeah, I don't know your time frame for that, but hopefully by a year from now,
God,
fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I know how they can get those kind of things can go, but
yeah, for real.
You know. So when you're building, I thought about this question actually whenever I was talking to Kyle the other day, and I was telling him that you were coming. It was actually yesterday. We were hanging out playing some board games, and he was like talking about the garage job that you did.
Yeah.
And that's whenever he mentioned the warranty work and stuff like that. And I was like, at one point, I was like, all right, no more. I gotta get like I want to ask him. Yeah, because he was like, I know how they started, and I was like, don't tell me.
Oh, that's funny.
But I asked him. I was like, so when he gave you like the estimate, did you see like cost of materials to cost of labor? And he was like, oh yeah, dude. He showed us everything like lined out. Do you guys use like an estimating program, or is it just your own pricing?
Old school.
Good, dude. Yeah. That's
I sit down and write everything up, and then I'll like put it into a document for people.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
Now that's cool.
A lot of people talk about middle people these days. A lot of people want to like upcharge on materials.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that. No. If you buy a $1,000 faucet or a $10 faucet, like my cost to install it, it'll be more if it's a $1,000 faucet because I have more responsibility.
If you drop it,
the labor, like the literal act of doing the thing, is not
a faucet. $1,000 faucit.
Well, hey, people are nuts.
Yeah,
I said that as that's not like it's not like I'm doing faucets all the time, but
sure.
If somebody wants a shiplapped wall and they have the shiplap for some reason. Okay, cool. I didn't need to make money on going to buy the material. Honestly, I'd prefer to not. I want to tell you how much you need because otherwise you'll order the wrong amount. That's just a fact. Like people don't know that portion of the thing.
Yeah.
But like as far as I will slap whatever you tell me to on the wall, and the physical act of me doing it should not. That's what I want to make money on. I don't want to make money on material, a little bit if I'm going to pick it up and all that, obviously, but
that's probably factored into your labor.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's labor charge.
But
that's
a lot
not.
Of people will, I say that because I've worked with a lot of people who do it. They'll, okay, the material cost is this, so I'm going to just add 30%. I'm like, that's a lot of money.
30% is a lot.
Oh man, I knew people that did. I'm not necessarily good with percentages. I knew people that if the material cost $500. They would tack on another 500 and then a labor number, so that's 100% or whatever, like crazy shit. I mean, and I'm not really dogging anybody. There's for sure, there are costs that aren't always thought about, like I have to keep insurance. I have to.
Totally.
So like my labor number isn't always like, if you were to break it down, you'd be like, damn, you're making $75 an hour. Like, well, no, I'm making $50 an hour, and then that first 25 goes towards keeping insurance. The second 25 is some gas, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Yeah. No, that makes total sense. But I think having it, because instead of making it look like that this piece of wood costs 30% more, you're like exactly saying this is the exact price of this piece of wood, and this is how much I'm getting.
Absolutely.
That's dude. Like
transparency's great.
Transparency, honesty, like I describe you as well as many other words, but the words that I would use to describe you: honest, hardworking, and trustworthy.
Shit, thank you.
You're welcome. I think that you deserve it a lot. So, where does that come from? Like your upbringing? Is that just a thing that's always been like? Do you think you have like an inspiration for where that came from, or it's just you?
So the honesty thing, I'm not sure. I think that, if we're really getting down in the weeds, I think I did not have a very honest mother.
Yeah.
And so I grew up being like, I don't like what it feels like to be lied to. So I will not make other people feel that way,
Yeah, no, I respect respect.
I've never really, but if we're just like, where does that come from? That's probably where it fucking comes from.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
The hard work would be my grandpa. That dude, damn near till the day he died was physically doing something. You probably remember, like, he had the house across the street from...
I do remember that, actually.
And he would come over, and he'd be, he was doing old person shit. He was sweeping leaves or whatever, but, he just never stopped moving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he definitely... I think there can be an unhealthy relationship to working too hard. I don't like working hard for money. But, like, I can wake up at 6 a.m. and work until midnight on my own shit,
Sure.
I can work fucking hard. You tell me I got to do it for money, and I'm like, I'm out.
It seems like it's a little much, you guys.
Yeah, like, and again, I love working Hammerhead because we do things our way.
Yes,
yeah, we do a lot of 6-hour days. I put in my time. I did 10-hour days on a roof.
Sure.
So now we do 6-hour days, and we work 4 days a week, and
respect.
Yeah, because when you do own your own business, there's always going to be a 5th or 6th day where I'm sitting down at a computer and doing all the accounting and all. It's you're working a lot more than those hours that you're seeing on the job site. I'm driving to jobs and figuring up estimates and
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as like the physical labor side of it, I literally would never stop if my body didn't make me sleep. But again, then you ask me to do it for money, and I'm like, oh no, thank you. I have no interest in that. Like, we'll be at work, and Dave and I are like, this fucking sucks. Like, I just want to go home, Then I'll take my tool belt off, put it in the truck, drive home, put it right back on, and work on the house for another 5 hours.
That's hilarious.
And like, I don't know why when I'm at a job I hate it so much, because I sure as hell don't mind it. Or, it wouldn't have to be for my house. If one of my friends was like, can you come help? Hell yeah, I'll come help until the wee hours. But you offer to pay me, I'm going to be mad about it,
Dude, well, like, you've got your family there, and you've got...
True.
It's your vision.
For sure.
You're like making someone else's vision come true.
Which I do love. I just love it for about 6 hours a day.
Exactly. There's boundaries. There's a limit.
I just also think and everybody works differently. 6 hours, though, seems to be a pretty, because with construction, there's always everything. With everything, there's a back and a forth, a push and a pull, left and a right. It's like everything. You're moving out of rhythm. You're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I need to mix more mud. Yeah. Do I mix more mud at 4:30 p.m. and sign myself up for 2 more hours, or do I say, hey, like, that was a solid day's work? So I think that's that's where the 6 hours came in. Is I feel like around about 6 hours, there's always like, all right, like, do I sign myself up for more, or is this a solid stopping point? Dude, happy with it.
Yeah, because I was gonna make the relation. I've always said that, like, if I'm driving across country, which I've done back and forth several times at this point, I've always said like 6 hours is the sweet spot, and like if it's worth it to push it to 7. I will. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, like 6 hours, we're stopping in the middle of the desert, but 7, we're chilling in some pine forests.
Definitely.
You know, I push it to the 7, but 6 hours has always been like my like dream of like when pushing across the country. Like I try to do it in like max 6 hour stints.
And that's with no bathroom breaks?
Just peeing in bottles. No. We'll take bathroom. No. 6 hours on the GPS.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
I've done I think 5 with no bathroom, or I don't know, maybe 4. So I'm trying to remember what gas tank it would have been, but where you're just like you said, pissing in bottles and.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah. I've definitely been there. Every stop adds like at least 15 minutes. Like if you stop, get gas, and get back on.
An hour, honestly.
Yeah, like that's if you pee. If you pee, you're adding a half hour. If you don't, which is crazy to do if you're on a long road trip and stopping at the gas station, you're adding 15 minutes every time.
It's rough.
So I met your family out in public before, and they seem really great. And I know that. Well, I say your family, your fiance and her child.
Where were we?
Oh, we were at the Honest, Hardworking, and Trustworthy.
No, where were we when we met?
Oh, I met you at FOCO. I met the kid had just gotten. I'm trying to like give privacy. That's why I'm like the kid. I just wanted that to be clear.
Yeah.
Had just gotten their hair done
By Hannah?
I think so.
Okay.
It was like a cut and dye. I'm pretty sure.
FOCO was that restaurant.
Yes.
Yes.
FOCO, the Mexican brunch place.
Yes.
Super great.
I completely forgot that because I also ran into Joseph Good that day.
Oh, yeah, no way.
Yeah, and so that day's, I mean...
Wait, he's like one of the owners, right?
I honestly don't know.
Joe?
Yeah.
Used to be in Xerxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was an owner.
I don't know that he is, but somebody made a comment the other day. Calvin Philly made a comment that was like, made it seem like Joe was...
Well... Good for Joe.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, I also chatted it up with Joe. I didn't realize. I knew he looked familiar, and then like we got to chatting, and I was like, "That's why."
Yeah.
Familiar.
Okay, yeah. So you did meet them. That's Shannon and Bowie.
Yeah, Shannon and Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
They both seem really great, and you.
The best.
Yeah, you seem super happy, and I wanted to ask, like, how do you balance music, business, and home life?
So I do think I'm kind of a freak.
I'd agree.
I have zero anxiety. That's it.
Amazing.
Like, I wake up in the morning. I'm like, I'm gonna do all these things, and you know, I'm around people that are like, how are you gonna get all that shit done? And I'm like, I don't know, you're just gonna do it. You know, like no part of me worries about how I'm gonna do it. I just start doing it, and I'm not bragging. Like a lot of times, I don't accomplish everything, or you know, like. I'm not saying that my way is the right way. I think anxiety is also beneficial, and it's probably there's a reason that you know we evolved to have it.
There are healthy forms of it, right. Sure.
But you know, when I wake up and I'm like, all right, I have to work. I have to go play a show, and at some point I need to make sure I make time to FaceTime them because they're in Florida.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're moving here in July, so I'm like working overtime to get the house ready.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they were only here for a week or so.
Oh, so I got so lucky to have met them. That's Absolutely. Why you were like, when did you meet them?
Yeah. I was literally like, man, what? But yeah, I think when you care about something and you don't have anxiety, I think I need to add that in because I'm not attacking anyone who feels like they can't do this. But when you care about something and you don't have anxiety, there's no reason you can't give it time.
Yes.
So for me, I care about my job because I own the company and it's work I like to do. So I know how to notch out time for that. I care about music dearly, so I know what I need to do. You know, if I sit down at the end of the day and it's grab a guitar or turn on the TV, I know that one of those decisions gets me closer to the things that I care about.
Yeah.
And one doesn't. And there's nothing wrong with sitting down and watching TV. And a lot of people, they need to unwind and they need to process and I just don't really have that. Like, and I'm sure because of that, there's probably a lot of things that like don't get processed properly. I don't necessarily claim to be the smartest, but
yeah, sure.
As far as doing all the things that I want to do and making sure that everything has the time it needs, it's just a matter of doing it. And I know that's not a fair thing to just say anybody can do, but luckily for me, I am able to just, I make a lot of lists. I try to be
Yeah.
organized in that way.
I'm getting better at my lists.
Oh, they're great, and I've gotten now to the point to where I order things, and I'll kind of have an idea of like, okay, and I do this because of work, obviously, but all right, like you gotta frame it before you can hang the drywall. You gotta hang the drywall before you can mud it. So then I start to be like, okay, I think this will take this much time, and blah blah blah. Where can I get to that 6-hour mark and call it?
Sure.
And then the other things you care about. Shannon and Bowie and I, we FaceTime every night. Every night that we can.
I mean, is it always like the three of you?
So it's always Shannon and myself, and then Bowie
pops in and out.
He's 13, so he's FaceTiming his own friends.
Sure, no, he's doing kid stuff. I mean, it seemed unlikely that, like, it seems like not the best for you and Shannon to have Bowie there the entire time. You want to have, like, not that you care.
I'm happy to have Bowie there.
Well, I guess that's not what I meant. I guess just, like, time alone where you guys get to talk separate. Like,
sure.
Yeah, I hope that came across as like nothing negative. Yeah.
Well, Shannon also works a job that she drives an hour and a half to every day.
Oh, lovely.
So we talk on the phone for a lot of that, and that's something I can pop in headphones and I'm working and talking, and she's driving,
that's you guys have a balance. I mean, you don't have anxiety, so I mean, I feel, and I kind of, without assuming, I was like kind of feeling like that was the case of how you manage the balance when you said 6 hours is just kind of what we do.
For sure.
And it was like, okay, he's not out there. And then on days you have practice, it's just about being intentional.
Definitely.
And you are super intentional. And I do have anxiety, but I'm learning how to separate from that anxiety and like realize that, oh, maybe this doesn't get done, and that's okay.
See, and I think that capitalism, and obviously I'm not like a brain scientist, so I could be. This is coming out of my ass,
Sure.
But I feel like capitalism is like a big part of why so many people have certain forms of anxiety.
For sure.
Because like both of my partners, if it's a Thursday and we're working on something, they're like, we got to get this done. I'm just kind of like, but we don't, And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it'll be here Monday. And they're like, but if we finish now, we can start the next one. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. Yeah, okay, now we start the next one on Tuesday. Like, there's just no part of me that, and again, both work. Obviously, the customer's probably upstairs like, listen to Dave, I would like you to finish my job, But I'm just like, it'll get done. I mean, obviously, if it's something important, I don't want anybody watching this to be like, well, fuck, I'll never, like, if I know, oh, you're not going to have a toilet if I don't finish this job, I'll put in an extra hour to make
sure. Yeah.
But if it's something where I'm like, nothing affects this if I don't come back until next week and finish, no skin off my back. Whereas I think a lot of people are just like, you're just wired to be like, I'm supposed to finish this, I'm supposed to start the next thing, and I don't have that part of my brain.
No, I think that's awesome, and like, I'm really more speaking about myself whenever I say this, and maybe you find it relatable, but I feel like when I have projects that I'm excited about that are for just me, it makes all that like things that are at work don't feel as serious, and things that are out of my control don't feel as serious. Definitely. Because it's like, well, that's not finished, but whatever. I'm gonna go. Like, this is my time to do the podcast now.
For sure.
So like,
you have to make time for that.
Yeah, and like we've been doing a lot of photo shoots with Best Dad Media, Kyle and Amanda, and like out. Doing work with them and like having those like projects that we're really excited about just like makes me feel like, I don't think that this maybe is the best way to look at it, but it's like the more I have in my life going on, then it's like some of it's going good, some of it maybe not so much, but hey, I got those good ones.
I think that's a perfectly valid. If all you had was the kind of negative ones, and then you come home and you
just watch TV all night.
In front of a TV.
I'm just like, I'm going to bed like sad.
Right.
Instead of excited for finishing that note list for my next guy or something, like
totally.
No, that's sick, man. And then I wanted, I was like 95% sure, and then I saw your plugs, straight edge.
Yeah, for life.
For life, you've always been.
Never been drunk, never been high.
Amazing. Never smoked a cigarette, never done.
So I've definitely never inhaled, but like when I was younger, and I probably still would today.
You maybe hit it.
No, not even hit it. Just like put it on my lips and be like, "Look how fucking stupid you look."
Sure. That's just the comedian.
Never tried to like smoke it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you like, man? So literally, I was gonna ask how many years? 38 years straight edge.
38 years.
Yeah.
I have, when I was younger, someone would be like, "Taste this," and I'd be like, "Okay." Like to me, that's not breaking edge because I'm not like impaired. So
I agree.
I would drink it and be like, "Yeah, no, that tastes like fucking shit." Like you're drinking piss,
It really does.
And
it's
then
not good.
Somebody hand me whiskey and I'd be like, "Whoa. That actually tastes amazing. I'm never going to do that again."
Right. So, no, I really like that. No,
yeah.
It is all about like, I mean, I think not is way more admirable, but like, some people are able to enjoy those things and not abuse them.
Oh,
and I also think that that's super admirable. Being able to partake without abusing. Yeah, and I know that you genuinely don't.
full zenith, yeah.
But I just think right. The stoner metal band.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that that's super cool, and I was curious, like, I was pretty sure that you were actively. Do you remember when you first claimed straight edge?
So I know for a fact I like first claimed it in like 8th grade.
Okay.
And then pretty quickly I was like, this is whack. Like, of course I'm straight edge. I'm fucking in.
Every 8th grade.
I will say, I mean, in 8th grade, plenty of people around me were smoking weed and
probably getting drunk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who knows what else? I've heard stuff that, as my little innocent homeschool boy,
yeah.
I would hear, and I was like, what?
I remember, I think it was a party in 8th grade was the first time I remember, like, just my class where people brought out booze,
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like, we're we're children. What are we doing? And then by high school, and I don't think everyone had this experience, but for sure by high school, everyone I knew was partying 24/7. Yeah,
sure.
Not 24/7, but like as soon as school wasn't in, we're like, whose house are we getting drunk at tonight? And I was like, I'm along for the ride. I'm not gonna do it.
It's so cool, man. I mean, like those are like being able to say no and not, and like you said, you've tasted things, but you've always like held to that. I didn't even anticipate this, but there is no like religious. Is there religious influence?
No.
Or
I think somewhere in me there's some spiritual.
I guess I was specifically talking about Christianity.
No,
or like going to church.
I was raised that way.
Yeah,
and I have friends that were raised that way and held on to it.
Sure.
More than I did. But no, I don't believe in a Christian God. And don't. None of that inspired
your sober living and straight edge.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I think that's like, man, really just so admirable. Especially like if all your friends are doing that in high school and stuff. It's hard. I'm imagining you committing to the bit and like having the cigarette. And like I'm seeing the picture in your Facebook with you holding the shotgun up in the air. You got the headband. I'm just imagining the cigarette and maybe a Bud Light in the other hand, and like the straight edge guy just committing to the bit.
Straight edge, because I would joke. I'd always be like, "Oh man, I was so high last night" or something. I mean, the Cadillac Young lyrics are all about that funny shit.
Oh yeah, I wanted to actually say, because I saw Whiskey and Chicken.
Yeah.
I felt better whenever I looked up your music, because I knew from our past conversation that Cadillac Young wasn't really up, or if it was somewhere, you didn't know exactly where.
Right.
So I Googled Cadillac Young to see if you had any music out now. And then I saw all the stuff,
Yeah.
and then Whiskey and Chicken, and I was like, maybe he's not straight edge anymore. And then you'll drink the whiskey, I'll eat the chicken, baby.
Yeah.
Dude, that brought me so much joy, truly. Man, I have to say again that I really appreciate you so much.
Well,
and I've always like admired your like influence in the scene and just like your presence in my life.
Well, thank you.
And
likewise.
thank you. And I guess I want to flip the script and let you ask me a couple questions if you've got any.
I definitely have one, and I might have another.
Sure, that's fine.
So our last conversation. Yeah, this is a good segue. We were talking about straight edge. Were you not straight edge when we recorded that Stabler record?
I would drink occasionally.
Okay.
I did not smoke weed. So you probably remember the boys smoking a bunch of weed, and I wasn't.
Copious amounts. Okay.
I drank occasionally.
Gotcha.
But it really was like when I did drink, like I hadn't learned how to drink responsibly.
Or
even if I didn't get wasted, I was like kind of a really annoying drunk person. I would get like, I was just like
talkative and
and like I've had like
wild,
two
so-
shots. I was already like so I didn't really drink a whole lot, and then like I would use nicotine sometimes.
Okay, for some reason I thought you were straight edge, and my question was going to be what made you break. Not in a judgmental way. I just think that's an interesting. But if you weren't, then you can't break. So
no, and I've gone through many phases in my life with just substances, I guess, for lack of better terms. I try to keep it like I don't enjoy the hard stuff
for sure. That's for your 20s.
That's sure, yeah, we could say that. I like to keep it natural. I haven't thrown up. I've never blacked out in my whole life.
That's awesome.
I've never blacked out. I used to always say like I would puke before I black out. And to my knowledge, that's true.
Hell yeah.
I've puked a lot in my life, young and dumb.
Oh yeah.
I haven't puked because of alcohol in a really long time. Couldn't really give you a thing of just like, I'm just like, I'm an adult. Like,
for sure.
I'm over here trying to like get up and do all those things that we were just talking about.
Absolutely.
And like alcohol specifically, where with like cannabis, because I do think cannabis is okay.
That's
It's like been legalized and decriminalized, and there are aspects of it that are legal here now.
Even if it wasn't, it's great.
But like, yeah, and it's like, but cannabis, exactly. No, truly. I guess I was just gonna say that because I'm like, I don't know. But alcohol doesn't. The only thing that I get better at with alcohol is talking. But the remembering and the listening, I get really good at talking, but I'm not better at listening.
Right.
I'm not better at remembering. I'm also not better at hiking or rock climbing or stained glass or it doesn't.
I can't even fathom trying to hike or rock climb under the influence.
Dude, no, it's like me
rough.
neither, really. There was a time that I went on a backpacking trip with a buddy who had a handle. It was his 30th birthday, and he's a couple years older than me. So it's been like 7 years, probably. We were in Yosemite, and I was trying to keep up with them, dude. And we got to the site. We ate like almost all the food.
Oh no!
Like, we were only one night.
Okay.
Almost all the food.
Like a 4 days of food in one night.
Thank God that wasn't the case. But we did bring extra food, so we ate a ton of food. Then I woke up in the middle of the night and was so sick. And like by the end of it, I was like malnourished. Like, I mean, we had like, it was like a 10-mile hike back.
Holy
and I puked the entire time. And like from then on, it's like I appreciate a cold beer at the end, like getting back.
For sure.
Getting back to home base or something like that, I appreciate that 100 times more, even than like, you know, like maybe a beer on the summit, or even like smoking on the summit sounds cool, but then you got to get down, and it's, even if you're doing a safer one, it's not really safe.
For sure. For sure.
And I have abused, like, you know, so I guess I wanted to say, like, I've abused things in my life, but I am fortunate enough to think that I've never had a problem. And then now as I get older, well, problem, but it's never been like a thing that has overcome my life.
Absolutely.
And then like, especially now as I get older and I start to value all my other things, like even cannabis, I don't really smoke that much compared to other people in my life who are doing great.
It hits harder when you don't.
It does.
You know,
I'm a cheap date.
When that's your regular state, like, you don't even, that's just your regular state.
Yeah, you're just staying normal. You're just getting more normal than you are like, I like to enjoy the novelty. It's funny because when I smoke with people who smoke like a lot, like I'll smoke a little bit with them and then I'm like acting all goofy and they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm stoned, dude. Like, what's wrong with you?
They're like, this is just how I live.
Yeah.
Tolerance break for, you know, some of those people might hit harder for them again. So.
Yeah. But I will, if I may, I was just kind of making this connection. I did have a spiritual influence. I was Christian. I was like taking it super serious. And I did kind of part ways from that.
Hell yeah.
And
completely? Like mentally you don't believe in, you know, the creator and the way the Bible.
Yeah, I've never told my mom this. So
if you're not listening.
And if she is, it's okay. But yeah, I don't necessarily, I believe in some sort of spirituality, and I think that there is a connection between all.
Definitely. I mean, they're just like scientifically is.
And you know, it's like if we are made in the image of God, and all of us, like, let's just say we take a little influence from that. We're all made in the image of God, then we're all like a piece of God, then we are all connected in a way.
So what brought me back to being more comfortable saying I'm okay being spiritual is one of my Christian friends. I don't honestly know where he lands right now, but it's Calvin from the Foxery.
Oh, cool.
He one time said, God is in the trees.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love nature. You know, if that's all we need to be able to conversationally be on the same page, is like, okay, my God is just the connectivity of everything, and your God, you know, you just believe there's like one fabric difference, you know, like, cool. And that's why I was able to be in the Foxery and feel comfortable about it. Like, they were all Christian, and I was like, I'm not at all, but like, we're not that different, you know, like,
no,
I definitely believe, you know, I mean, we literally did all come from atoms and shit, and that's about as far as, you know, I'm not a science guy, love it, appreciate it, you know, but don't know anything about it, but like, we are all connected in that way, you know. We all came from the dirt, and we'll get back in it. And I think God is in the trees is like a really good way for me to be like, oh, okay, like in that way, then I can be comfortable feeling spiritual, because I'm connected to nature, and I'm connected to humans, and you know, like it makes sense that way.
When it all ends up, we all end back in Mother Earth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I got another one.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Hopefully this hits hard for you. I feel like I've asked a couple people and it didn't resonate. This question for me resonated a lot hard. I mean, I'm still talking about it today. I met someone on Tinder years ago. You know, we're just like talking back and forth, and they hit me with, if you could relive one day from your past, what would that day be? And I mean, I was like, fuck, I thought we were here to talk about hooking up. Yeah, I mean, I was like 25 or whatever, you know, but like, hell, let's talk about it. So that's the question that I had prepared for you.
Oh, snap. If I could relive one day.
You know, it it could be a moment. So for me, my answer, you know, and I think this is kind of cheating, but I don't care. I mean, you could literally pick any of them. I just said a day that my grandma's alive and I was spending time with her. Like, it could be any fucking, I mean, she's on my neck. Like, she was, you know, my fucking rock. So for me, I was like, I don't have a specific day, but any day where she's alive and in good health and we're together, that's the day I pick. So I don't want you to copy me. You know, I'm just saying, like, it can be loose, whatever.
Yeah.
But I also imagine there's got to be people that are like, no, there's this one fucking day that I remember, you know, when I did a cool thing and I want to relive that. So I just always like to hear what people have, you know, hey, I'm flipping the script, you know? I can see your brain's like, fuck, I wasn't prepared for this.
While I think about this answer, I will say, sorry about your loss.
Oh, I mean, I was 22.
I wasn't sure. My grandma just passed a few months ago.
Sorry about your loss.
Thank you. It's okay. And like, I realized that I didn't take a lot of pictures, with my grandma.
That sucks.
But I also, it kind of like stands pretty true to who I am. And I've always like, I spent 6 months in Montana and I don't have like, I've got like 2 pictures from my whole time in Montana.
I'm kind of bad about that stuff too. Luckily Shannon's really good about it. So.
And my phone actually broke while I was there.
In Montana?
Yeah, and then I had rolls of film that never like I think they got cooked in my car.
That's a bummer.
But like it wasn't even that many rolls of film. But that's the thing is that like I have put a lot of focus into experiencing where I'm at when I'm there.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, you know, I didn't take the picture with my grandma because I'm running out to grab macaroni and cheese, and I'm getting the thing out of the freezer, bringing it to her. I'm cooking, I'm mashing the potatoes alongside of her.
Definitely.
So I don't want to steal your answer, but I did want to comment on that because it would be cool to relive, like, you know, one of those mornings, you know, helping grandma get lunch ready for everybody. But man, if I could. You know, I always think about the first time. I think the first time I ever saw the mountains.
Which mountains?
West.
Oh, okay.
The first time I ever saw the Colorado the Rockies.
Driving up to them or
something? So we actually flew. The first time we flew.
Gotcha.
I went. It was after my grandpa had passed.
Oh shit.
This was. It would have been about 11 years ago. 11 years ago. And my cousin had been living out in Colorado, and he was like, dude, you got to come visit me. And then I started talking to my cousin Lee. So I was 22. My cousin Lee was like 17. It was actually really funny. We ended up finding out that like he smoked weed. Lee smoked more weed. Like Lee started smoking weed like way before I ever did. Like and there's stories that come out of that, but not super important. But as soon as I saw the mountains and was like, whoa. And then as we're driving in, so he worked in Estes Park. Cool. Right at the entrance of Rocky Mountain National Park. And like, as we're driving those roads and like seeing the drop off, and I am just seeing this thing that looks huge, bigger than anything I'd ever seen. Now I'm like, it's so much bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
I knew at that point that I needed to see more. I needed to find out what more was in the world. And even just the United States. And I really feel like that trip inspired me to sell all of my stuff and hop in a car and just see what happens. And,
hell yeah.
It has, you know, whether positive or good, I choose to see the positive. Maybe there's some negative that came from it, but I mean, for me, it's all positive. But that was like kind of the moment that really inspired me to do more. To like, I was already starting to like push on the outside of the bubble, but the bubble was still there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even necessarily realize I was pushing on the bubble. And that's when I was like, No, I gotta go see some stuff. I gotta go meet some people. I gotta go experience some things.
And that led you to doing this. You know,
And that led me here. It
years
did.
and years later,
You know,
but
I mean
yeah.
that gave me the confidence to buy a house sight unseen,
For
and
sure.
that gave me the confidence to take a risk and to learn that even though mistakes happen, or even though things go wrong, you know, you just sometimes you don't pivot. Sometimes you just take the hit in the face and you just keep pushing forward.
Definitely.
And that is the best way to sometimes. And it just kind of gave me the strength and the courage and the ability to make those decisions, even though I might still regret it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's made, you know, really got me out there.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Well,
That's a
dude,
good answer.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been a blast.
I agree. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, until next time.
All right.
Peace.